Alright, I'm almost ready to start. I just want to try something slightly different for stream, so hang tight and get myself a bite. We got quite a bit of stuff to do. But greetings, chat. Greetings, gamers. I've slightly updated the stream overlay to be a little bit less black space, you know? I think having the bread bug there really adds to stream. He's also watching over chat. He's gonna be guarding chat. So, I'm starting a little bit early, because this first hour is going to be a lot of grinding. We gotta get our purple stocks up. In fact, I think we need to get all of our Pikmin stocks up, bro. Okay, so blues are in good shape. Yellows definitely need to get these fellows up. I'm pretty sure our reds took the biggest hit. No, our reds are in pretty good shape, but we do need to have lots of, We do need to make sure we have plenty of them, too. Because we just need to get our numbers up, especially for reds. Because we need to, like, just start throwing about, we need 200... We need like an extra 100 reds, basically. Because we need to start throwing them into the purple flower, the candy pop bud grinder. And some flowers on them would be nice, too. So we're gonna need to go into this cavern 6 times to get all the perps we need. Am I bringing the yellows? I don't know. I thought, you know what, we can grab some nectar on the way on the way over here. No, we can't. So today's gonna be a little bit of a slower day. Like, first of all, we're gonna get our 100 purple Pikmin right off the bat. Yo, Spam. Welcome to a grind stream. A very straightforward mission. Get our 100 purples, and then we are gonna, after we get our 100 purples, we are going to, clear out the overworld at the Perplexing Pool, then finally mosey our way over to the Wistful Wilds. Maybe I should get, like, some kind of stream overlay eventually, you know? The other thing I was thinking about, just for the sake of performance, is... I've got almost a capture card set up right here. I've got an old Wii. I'm thinking of maybe just getting a dedicated Wii Mini and having that be, like, my, my homebrew Wii. Because Dolphin is very nice, bro. Sorry, my legitimate GameCube here is very nice. But these random performance issues are like, So I would love to run that stuff natively if possible. If we get some whites, why not? I am genuinely, like, so happy that the Wii runs GameCube games natively, doesn't emulate them. That's Yeah, for those of you who have been following the Switch 2 news, Switch 2 does not run Switch 1 games natively. They emulate, it emulates Switch 1 games. It's kind of upsetting with that. I don't know if the PS2 had that backwards compatibility, nor if the PS3 had that as well, but I remember, like, fat PS3s used to be able to run PS1 and, like, PS1 and PS2 games or something like that. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. But I remember we had a friend who had a PS3 and was like, oh, they run PS1, PS2 games. And then we got our PS3 and it didn't. And we were like, oh. That's not good. Nice thing is we got those speed boots, so we can just zoom on through these caves. Obviously, it's like, I can understand when native backwards compatibility won't work. Like, there's no way in hell you're gonna be able to, like, make a Nintendo 64 game backwards compatible on a GameCube. Like, I get that. Come on, man. You're using cartridges for both. What do you mean you're emulating Switch? You're emulating Switch 1 games? I got a lot of beef with Nintendo nowadays. Like, they've been pushing it a lot, bro. We gotta actually find this exit because the Gatling Groink will like home in on us. Where the fuck's the exit? Oh, it's over there. How did I miss it? Yeah, this is arguably the worst part about Pikmin 2. I think if there's only something I'd call a major flaw, I would absolutely say Doomsday Apparatus. Because this is the only efficient way you can grind for it. There's supposed to be another purple flower around here. Oh, okay, it's over there. Dude, I was gonna be livid if it like there was only two. But yeah, Doomsday Apparatus is a much-cited reason why this game kind of sucks, and it's only one part of the game. But we're gonna see how long it actually takes, especially since it's like I obliterated all of my purples in that last fight. Might as well take the time to get some flowers here too, because there's lots of eggs. We'd actually create some more reds while we're down here too. So I think we should only bring like 50 reds, and then rinse and repeat. So yeah, consider this stream a timer as to how long it takes to get the amount of purples you need for Doomsday Apparatus. We'll see if the Pikmin 2 haters have a leg to stand on. And we're gonna put away our purples. So we're like starting with 17 purples. We used to have 30. So I think 1, 2, 3, 4. We need to do that 5 more times. Yeah, 32, so like 1, 2, 3, 4 for the 60, and then 1 more for the last 10. So yeah, so we gotta do that like 5 more times. The only other issue is that the run back, you gotta like pace yourself if you don't got a bunch of flowers with you. Else they lag. Yeah, some asshole tripped. Yeah, you're the asshole who are... You're the, I still gotta work on that language, man. Like a swear jar and an anti-swear jar for every time I successfully dodge a swear. But yeah, backwards compatibility, am I right? And I don't mind ports for stuff that can't, like, naturally be backwards compatible. Though with the like, I would prefer something fine-tuned for the hardware. Like, if it was between, like, you know, getting, like, Pikmin 2 on Virtual Console versus a Pikmin 2 port with minimal changes, of course, I would take the port, because I would prefer, better performance over an emulator any day. I would gladly pay extra for some better performance for a good port of an old game. As long as it isn't too insane of a price hike. Like, it reminds me of the $40 Prime 2 remaster for Switch. Like, I think I would, like, that seems pretty fine, like, because they remaster it, and it's, like, around same price as it was on GameCube. Heck, even less, because you're counting for inflation. I was a bit iffy at it being, like, $40 when I first saw it released, but then I was all like, no, it's actually a fantastic remaster. So, hey. That should have been the standard for remakes and remaster, but no. I'm just glad I have a nice backlog to keep me lasted. And we have every single GameCube game and Wii game accessible as well, because I'm pretty sure those could keep you satisfied for a good few years as well. Yeah, I'm backing these guys up. The biggest enticing thing for the Switch 2 would be playing Tears of the Kingdom on functioning hardware, but then it's like, lol, if you bought our poopy dump unoptimized game for Switch 1, and you want to play it on Switch 2, where it plays at functioning game rate and game performance, that should be industry standard, you gotta pay an extra $30 on top of the fact that thing already costs $70. I'm pretty hardened on my no $70 game stance, and both times I bought a $70, like, there's only a few exceptions that I bought $70 games, and both I've been pretty lacking in terms of performance. The first was Tears of the Kingdom, because I really wanted to play it and try it out. Then I couldn't get past the tutorial area, because I'd activate Ultra Hand, and the game would grind to an absolute halt. Like, it was non-functional with Ultra Hand. The other one was Monster Hunter Wilds, and I could get through some of it, but again, I think the only thing that's bad on my computer is my CPU. And the performance is very lacking for the hardware I'm packing for it. I've also got small beef with it because I also got it from a partner, and unfortunately, she has a Vega 64, which would be more than powerful. It's more than powerful enough to run the game, but Capcom says like no. It's if you have an older graphics card, you need to. It's a nice way to say, you know. Yeah, I think it's just saying like they just threw they just were like a suckers when they got the money and you had an old graphics card. That's what happened with Capcom. So yeah, so I think this old graphics card is still pretty up to par for the standards you're expecting. LOL XD. The game also looks significantly worse than, like, Worlds, which is also upsetting, too. So as far as I'm concerned, both times I broke my no $70 game, like, no, I'm not paying more than $60 for a game mantra, I got scammed, so. I think the only time a game should be worth $70 is, like, if I am paying $70 for a game, I should get like the future season pass for that stuff. You know, give me all the like, I don't know. One of the most obvious reasons why these game prices are just like going up is because oh here. Did not mean to use that bit. One bigger reason why these game prices have been going up is because production costs are going up. So the real deal is like, you know, instead of making games more expensive to accommodate for your increasing production costs, why not find a way to, what's it called? Not have billion-dollar production costs. Hold on. No way Metaphor was $70. Dang. On the upside, if the Switch performance is good, I think I'll just get Metaphor on Switch secondhand at that point. But yeah, right now it's becoming industry standard, because I think what kind of spurred it off was Spider-Man 2 for PS5. Which I can't really say much about the game, but all that I know is that it had a massive budget, and even with how big of a success it was, it did not break even. Because of costs for advertising and all that jazz, too. Which is probably why people are like, you know what? Oh. That was a mistake. You sold your TF2 hats? Nice. Oh. There's lots of neck to go around at least. Yeah, it's like it's a very obvious that there's points that I'm pretty sure. I'm not asking for people to budget min-max and start crunching people to budget min-max. And obviously the other big part is CEOs want their big fat salaries on top of game dev. I can't say the same. Nintendo should not have this excuse, to be honest, though. Not gonna lie, kinda smart. Kinda smart. I remember when I was younger, I used to run MVM with my siblings because we were all like, dude, if you get an Australian weapon, you could sell it for like $50. That's 2 whole video games. Yeah, man, oof. It's too bad that Valve is kind of responsible for starting Loot Crate Mania. I'm glad stuff like okay, though I'm kind of glad that stuff like the CS:GO economy, the TF2 economy, and the EVE economy is stuff that just cannot be replicated. The only reason why those economies happen is because they had super dedicated player bases, and that economy was not the center point of the game. An economy grew around a good game. The economy did not grow from the game, you know? If somebody finds out how to replicate that kind of like in-game economies like that, that's gonna be like doom for the future of game design. No, hold on, I gotta put the bread bug. There we go. Let's move this giant bread bug back here so he doesn't obstruct chat. So what all the Web 3.0 people tried to capture, they're like, dude, we're gonna like make play to earn. But I think if you design a game to be like play to earn, you're going to incentivize the worst kinds of people to play your game. And that's going to be like min-maxers and people with a lot of money who are looking to invest. You gotta make a fun game first, you know? But yeah, I feel like definitely people should be, like, instead of trying to, like, shove these increasing production costs for games on the consumer, it should be so much easier to bring back either AA experimental indie projects or just smaller scale games in general. Fortnite, I think Fortnite has, I think I mentioned before, Fortnite has a perfect monetization model. Because it's a simple free game. And like, they have never compromised on giving people advantages with paid stuff. Now, granted, there's like quote unquote competitive optimal skins, but that's just a side effect of the game, and you can't really blame Epic Games for that. Epic Games stayed like weirdly steadfast in like how straightforward their monetization is, especially how generous it is with the Battle Pass. How the Battle Pass will give you V-Bucks back. So if you complete the one Battle Pass, you can save the V-Bucks from that one to get the next one. Got it from the Fortnite Cash Cup. Yeah, the other thing about it is that if you make a game play to earn, you need to make sure your game isn't designed around the concept of play to earn. Else you get something like Axie Infinity, where you get virtual web slavery. Because the price to entry is so high, and people in impoverished countries are like, dude, I really want that money. I really want, like, the pennies the American slave masters will throw my way. A bit dark, but man, Axie Infinity is like, whew. That game is a trip in and of itself. A few people have already made very good videos about it, but the long story short, Axie Infinity means, like, oh, you gotta get these, like, axolotl. It's kind of like Pokemon meets Hearthstone on the blockchain. But the entire point is that if you want to play the game, like, it's play to earn. So basically, you can sell like these creatures called Axie with like randomly generated stats and attributes and whatnot. The issue is that the entry to play is like around $6,000 because you have to like buy a bunch of NFT Axies before you actually want to play. The average person isn't going to be able to play. So all the rich people were like, you know what? We will rent out our Axies to you guys, so you can play to earn some Axies, and we'll take a commission off, and you'll pay us rental fee, but you get to play the game and earn pennies. Doesn't it sound good? Use my virtual axolotls, bro. So it's basically just virtual web, like web slavery, essentially, where you're just outsourcing playing the game to just like people who are freaking desperate. It's really sad. And I know that this kind of happens with RuneScape, but the thing is, RuneScape doesn't like incentivize gold farming. Gold farming just happened around it because it was something that could be capitalized on. If like RuneScape was like exchange gold for USDC, you'd see a lot more like people running like slaver guilds in RuneScape, you know? Shit. Shoot. I cannot keep my potty mouth going. I think the thing about Cash Cup also is that you have to be really good at the game. You can't just like rent out some Venezuelan to play the game for you. Yeah, that's like get-rich-quick scheme. Theoretically, you could rent out like you could sponsor people for those tournaments, but that's just regular business then. That creates an economy in and of itself, where it's like where players are gonna be good because they want to get sponsors so they can play more. It's more skill expression than every other Crypto Bro game, is what I'm saying. Yeah, when you have a game first, it at least creates its own economy, especially where the players that, like, if rich people want to buy into this or invest into this, the people who are really good at the game can at least kind of cash out with sponsorship deals. You know, they could get like official sponsors. They could find like big people, be like, hey, you know, we could make some dubious back deals with other rich crypto bros. At least there's something going on there. So it isn't just slavery. Like, imagine, like, approaching a Fortnite pro and being like, yo, dude, I will get, like, you pay me money, and I'll get you in the cash cups, and you give me, like, 90% of your winnings. A good player will know what he know what he has. He knows how valuable his labor is. And there I go talking about, like, sounding like I'm a communist. I do feel like that's kind of like what happens when there's money on the line, where people will turn to the most optimal dominant strategy rather than fun or interesting strategies. It's like, why risk a gunfight where there is a chance of you losing, where you could just heal off in the storm? A gunfight inherently has too much variance in it when you're running with, like, God knows how much money. I think, like, what, $1 million was the cash prize for the first Fortnite tournament ever held, and a 16-year-old won it. The key is to not use the assault rifle. Alright, bro, this is... Okay, Pikmin 2 haters are, currently kind of winning. We're 30 minutes into this grind, and we still need to run this cave a few more times. I don't know, dude. You should probably get the double pump and then get the jump scare on him. Like, the best I could say this is, in, fighting game circles, where if people find what is, like, consistently the best character, and there's cash prizes on the big cash prizes on the line, people are gonna start gravitating more towards that consistently good character, and it stifles the ability to, like, experiment around. Because somebody could find, like, a huge breakthrough in, like, a low-tier or lesser-known character if they experiment around a lot. But there's no incentive to when there's, like, when it costs so much to go to these, like, big events. Usually, then there's another option, which is disengage. This is kind of like with fighting game thinking, where it's like, if you're in a scenario where where you're not confident in your ability to, like, fight or, like, secure that combo or land that kill, disengage and wait for a better opportunity. That is always an option that a lot of people tend to forget about, in, like, both fighting games and Fortnite. And another thing that I do appreciate about Fortnite is how many options it offers for, like, everything. They've got lots of mobility options. They've got the cars. They've got that. It's very dynamic for a battle royale because it just keeps things interesting consistently with, like, the interesting loot pool, vehicle pool, maps, where the storm will go. I don't think it's very fun solo, but I think that the dynamics to it make it really fun to play it along with friends. I gotta get it. Hold on. Let me try this real quick. Forget how. Hold on. Audio. You want to add a noise gate. Okay. Hello. Oh, okay. I'm trying to, like, fine-tune this gate. Go. You guys want lovely, lovely background. You guys want lovely, lovely. Oh, dear. Close threshold. Okay, hopefully now it should be a bit more testing one. Yeah. I'm feeling like maybe either that or some passive noise suppression instead of an audio gate. Unless you guys like my passive microphone picking up all that noise. So cutting out every other word? Okay, yeah, we're taking... Gone. Noise gate. Oh. Damn it. Okay, I've turned on passive noise suppression, so hopefully it should... Am I sounding a bit crisper? So hopefully it should... Am I sounding a bit crisper? I think I do. There we go. Hopefully that does not cause recursion. If it's causing a recursion, please scream. Yeah, I'm... Oh, you know, we got New York. We got a very funky neighborhood we live in, so we got lots of sirens and noise. I'm trying to find ways to, like, solidify that, like just patch that out, but, I need nothing short of a nicer apartment and some nice soundproof padding for the room. I'm just doing this in my living room. I have a small curtain in front of my desk to help, with lighting and stuff. It's pretty standard. Honestly, if I make a good impression, like, what's it called, at my job, I'm hoping, like, all that, it's very funky. I'm in a very, very special position with my job, where I want it to be per diem, because I don't want benefits for it. I would not mind working per diem just to get some extra pay. Make a good enough impression, then I could, like, get a miracle position that I got just by sheer luck. I'll get my fingers crossed for that. Speaking of which, I'm hoping that we can get... Maybe we could, like, do some miracle runs of Pikmin. We could get a lot of it done, because I'm going to be having a different stream this Wednesday, because my boss actually wants me to come in on work Wednesday. Which I'm all for. Work's more consistent than YouTube and all that. So I might have a later, shorter stream on Wednesday, then. But I will be doing my best to stream on that day, however. I've just got a fat backlog of games, and it's like, you know... Oh, why not go through them all? By backlog, most of these games are just replaying old games. There's some DS games I got. Like, there's one game I want to try. I definitely want to play Platinum again. That's like, I think that's next on my DS list, but then it's like, I could also play SMT4. Okay, we got 2 more cave runs. Alright, so far, I'm gonna say it's like the grinding in order to get from 15 purple Pikmin to 100 in Subterranean Complex. That takes around an hour of just non-stop looping. I'm glad you can get it done in one in-game day, but oh my god. What a pain in the butt. Probably could have done it faster if I was more conservative with my purples, however. Yeah, Platinum is just objectively a better game. There's no beating around the bush. Kind of upsetting they stopped doing, like, the superior third... Like, maybe it's because they stopped doing the superior third version because people caught on. I do want to play Black 2 and White 2 again. Because, like, I want to try it out on challenge mode. I remember when I first played Pokemon Black and White, like, I was not impressed as a kid with Black and White. Same thing with Black 2 and White. Well, I know, I was a lot more impressed with Black 2 and White 2 because it offers so much more stuff to do than Black 1 and White 1. I don't know why people call Black 1 and White 1 good. I think it's fine, just not one of the best. 2, however, it, like, makes up in spades with the amount of content it's got. I know one of the biggest issues of Black and White on release was the fact that they wanted to make Unova its own region, so they had none of the Sinnoh, Johto, Kanto Pokemon in there, which was a huge point of contention. And I don't mind that at all, to be honest. Like, I don't mind having a new region, it's just... The region feels like it felt like in Black... Like, this is just from memory. I have not played the game in ages. It felt like the region just needed more to do. It was a very, very bland map. The map was a big circle. It had some really nice atmosphere, some really cool cities, but the fact that the map was just a big circle was really disappointing to me as a kid. You can talk about how, like, a lot of the regions in Kanto, Johto, Sinnoh, etc., Hoenn, were all straight paths and kind of loopish, were kind of circles, but Unova was, like, not hiding the fact, like, yeah, this region is a circle, so what? Which kind of stank. I mean, Unova is just supposed to be the entirety of, like, New York, and that's it, which I think also kind of stinks. Maybe if they stretched it out to be, like, the Pacific Northeast, probably could have been a bit more interesting. I keep forgetting, though, how big US states are, like, in comparison to just the entirety of Japan. It's like, why didn't they make it the entire Pacific Northeast? It's like, oh yeah, that's right, because, one state is probably, like, one entire region of Japan. We got the scaling's all skewed. And then they just said, screw it, all of France is a single region now in X and Y. If we want to talk about, like, Pokemon game with nothing really much to do, being very content-light, that would definitely be X and Y. The jump to 3D was kind of sad. A lot of people are looking a lot more fondly back on, like, the sprite work in Black and White 2. Which, God, I cannot imagine how much time and effort must have gone into, like, animating every single sprite in that game to the 3D models, which they already had. But the sprites were obviously going to be static. Like, we're not going to get, like, as dynamic as it was in Pokemon Stadium because, you know, it's, like, the physical amount of, what's it called, manpower that has to go into that. Like, if they took a long time developing a game where they remade everything, that is a nightmarish work pipeline. It could be done, but it's more like... people keep thinking it's like, oh, you know, it's easy to make those animations. You just think of the animation and do it. You know, when you're, like, working at a company, it has to be, like, a pipeline where it's like, okay, so, you know, you gotta think of these animations, gotta think of what they're gonna do, you're gonna, like, quick sketch out an animatic of, like, what they'll do for each move or whatever. Then you gotta, like, bring that animatic to your boss, see if it, like, aligns with the director's vision, and then you get approval, and then you gotta go through, like, and you gotta get through, like, making roughs of it, then you gotta, like, finalize it, then you gotta see how it looks in game. And there's a chance it may also look like shit in game. There goes my potty mouth again. It's an entire process. Like, if it was a solo project where it was just one person doing all that, the lack of, not having to coordinate with others in your department helps like, streamline the workflow, but it takes much, much longer. It's not the fact that they have to make around 2,000 different animations total. It's the fact that you have to make 2,000 different animations coordinated with an entire company of game devs. That's what makes it so difficult. It would be nice if everybody was psychic and, like, you could work freely and just, like, cyclically beam, like, what works best, but, you know. When you're working in a team, you gotta, you know, the team kinda has to, like, be in on what that Snorlax animation is gonna look like. Ooh, I'm stuttering like a donkey. I think. Game dev is just a very interesting field. And one thing I can at least say when working with, like, a few other indies and, like, just getting some behind the scene is that a lot of people, especially in indie scenes, don't value communication with their peers as much as they probably should. Right, one more run. Communication in general is kind of rough for internet denizens. I am a connoisseur of the arts. I like to get commissions, and, like, it's one reason why I do stick with, like, a few artists now. After, like, when I was younger, I used to commission a lot of artists. But then it's like, now I just don't branch out as much, because, like, a lot of them are just, it's very hard to communicate and, like, get some idea of what's going on behind the scenes. Get very frustrating sometimes, not gonna lie. Especially when you see them, like, you know, actively, like, posting and bumping up and, like, buzzing around on social media, and it's like, dude, I paid you, like, 6 months ago. I paid you $100 6 months ago. Where's the work? It's like, sorry, I got anxiety. I gotta play Final Fantasy to wind down. It's like, no, you don't. So I only stick with, like, a select few people to commission, because it's like, I know that they're very, very reliable with their work. They always keep me in the loop when I ask. Exactly, why commission when you can just make the art yourself? I would totally spec into art if I had the time, man. It's time, energy, and willpower that is, like, you just need those three in order to get really good at art. And I think, if I made time, I would have the time, but then comes the energy and willpower part. Being an adult is very draining. At least the conditions I'm in. I'm pretty sure if I got to a more cozy position, I could definitely take it up. And then comes the willpower. I think finding any sort of, like, support group for creative endeavors is, like, platinum. It is very hard to develop, like, unless you're built different. Maybe, see, like, I always, like, read back to a lot of writers where even some of the most isolated ones communicate a lot with people, like, through letters and whatnot. But unless you're, like, really crazy, like a crazy savant, or the other thing I think is that maybe just knowing people will have those, like, creative support structures, and you just don't have one. Knowing that it's a possibility kind of eats away at your brain. A creative, like, just any sort of creative support group works. The PewDiePie method works because PewDiePie doesn't have to worry about anything anymore, bro. God knows how much money he's got in, like, in a Roth IRA fund. He, like, if you, like, one of the biggest things is that even when I'm unemployed, what stresses me out is the fact that, like, what stresses people out about unemployment, typically, is just the financial woes. That's at least for me. For me, with the financial woes, where it's like, you know, I have to get a job eventually, even though I'm unemployed. I have all this free time, but it's stressing me as balls. That's at least that kind of comes into play for energy for me, because I am always stressed about bills. There's housework to be done. There's like all sorts of little things that have to be done that just stack up on my mental, and then I'm like exhausted. And I have to juggle that with writing. I've been juggling with writing, thankfully. It has to be with my job, because at the job I work, it's a nice quiet office that I do IT work at. So when I do the IT work there, I just what's it called? During any downtime, that's when I work on my writing work. It's a nice quiet office space, so I can just like quickly break from that to like helping somebody out, and then go head back to my writing work and focus. That's like my best middle ground. The other strategy is typically to go to the library, but this is when like finances and stress kind of play in, because every time there's like this kind of like applies for, it's like more aware, you're more aware of it in New York, less aware of it when you have a car. Every time you go out, you are burning money. When you kind of realize that, it kind of sucks the fun out of going out unless you absolutely have to. And it's like, if I go to the library and like get burned out and I can't like find like creative mojo for the day going to the library, then I just spent like $10 going out for nothing. I'm just neurotic as balls. That's why I can't focus as hard when I'm like stressed out about work or whatnot. But if you find that flow, I guess the closest I can call it is like a creative flow state, where you know, where it's like you can sit down and you have turned what is a creative a creative endeavor into a hobby. That's like one of the most powerful things you can do. I like to compare it to kind of like people who go to the gym a lot. A lot of people who go to the gym because they want to get fit, they go to it because they basically reprogram their brains into thinking, you know what? I like going to the gym. Going to the gym like helps me unwind and de-stress. I like doing this a lot. I think that's like one of the most powerful mindsets you can program your brain into with like any sort of hobby. Where you're not doing it because you want to be good, or like you want to get fit, or you have any goals. You just do it because your brain finds it fun. Alright, I think that's our 100 purples. Let's go. I can get into those mindsets hard with writing, but like a lot of times what always holds me back with writing is a never-ending nagging to be the best I possibly can. I find it very hard just to casually write stuff out. There's a few times where sometimes I just like to explore little concepts, and I think that's the most time I can have fun with writing, where I like find a really interesting concept and like to flesh it the hell out. But that's not like, but that's more like planning rather than writing, you know? Alrighty, and that only took 53 minutes. We've got our 100 purples. Alright, we've recovered the purple population, thank God. $90 purples in one day. Took around an hour of grinding. Alright, now we gotta clean up the perplexing pool. I can't whistle. Know where the first one is. The first one is, like, right over there. Oh, we also need some whites. We'll start with the yellow one first. Alrighty. Okay. We're gonna, like, put away some of you. Hang tight. What the heck was that? There's nothing. Alright, got that. I think I remember the last few. So there's one that's buried over there. Hey, Zarg! We got our 100 purples. We've restored the purple population to maximum levels. We gotta get this frog too. Oh, he's dead. No, he's not. How the hell? Okay, we need to have Almar on this side to recover our white boys. Onions! Wait. Why are you going this way? Why are you going this way? Okay. We pray for your safe return, I guess. Do not perish on your trek back. Please do not perish. Get the onion back to base. I think that's left are just these sheer grubs here. Okay, should be a straight shot home for the rest of those boys. Okay, so up there. So we need some yellows then. Okay, yeah, so we need some more yellows for here then. We have Mr. President. Get them back. Hey, Blue Gemini. Welcome back. Yeah, I decided to add a little bit of flair to our stream overlay. We got our 100 purple Pikmin in the past hour. And we're just cleaning up the surface here. We actually probably gotta get these shrimp. These shrimp will actually be in the way. Okay. Okay, shrimp removed. Okay, these guys removed too, and then we gotta just remove that blowhog. Yeah, okay. Looks like it'd be 25. Oh, I realized. I am so smart. Oh, okay, we might need 2 captains for this puzzle in another day. Oh dear, I'm not that smart, actually. Yeah, we need 2 captains for this, definitely. Oh boy. Okay. I thought we could split, divide, and conquer on that puzzle. Nope. Maybe if we're extra fast, we can get both. Alright, yeah, let's... There we go. Let's go. Oh, okay. They're good, they're good. Alright, let's believe! Okay, so we throw one there. Okay, okay. Nice! Big crunchy pickles. Gherkingate? Gherkin? Gherkin's an actual word? Wait. We're gonna at least get this off its platform. And we could, like, just get it done the following day. Oh, if I knew that would take 2 captives, we could have gotten it in time. Come on, get that stuff down, bros! Alright, yeah, let's just, get this over with. Yeah, we lost one. I think he got stuck to something. Sorry, son. The grind never stops. Okay, just 2 more. Then we're gonna do the first things first. We're gonna just get the Doomsday apparatus, and then haul that poopy back. Haul that poop back to where we need it. is the day that the beady longleg spawns? Nope. I think that's day 30 that he spawns. There's a big spider, the beady longlegs will, can, like, spawn on the surface. It drops a bunch of pellets for you. Alright. There we go. Day 31. Adding a little a little bit more dynamicism. I think that's a word. To like worlds like that. Very interesting. Alright, now we just gotta wait. I suppose in the meantime we could, like, eat grass or something like that. Either way, we're like in the final stretch of things. So I'm thinking, I mentioned before, this Wednesday, I'm gonna have a slightly later stream, so I'm thinking of doing something more casual, like playing a bit of Guilty Gear, or, some Iron Saga Versus. A few fighting games, oh my god, my brain, like, is shorting out a lot. Well, I know exactly, what am I doing? Pause the game. Exactly what I'm missing. I gotta get my prescription from the doctor. Dr. Pepper. It's not for women. Pardon me there, but... okay. Before you start saying, like, oh, he hates women. No, that was an actual ad campaign. Dr. Pepper, for whatever reason, decided, you know what? Let's make an ad campaign where we say, Dr. Pepper, it's not for women. And that was the tagline. I don't know why. Why did they think that? Let's alienate 50% of the population. That'll get some Dr. Pepper sales up. Let's advertise to the I hate my wife market. Why are they taking that route? I guess they want, like, a spicier way home. Literally. Oh, swooping snitch bug got him. Okay, let's get our boys. Let's get our boys in blue back. They saw the clear path and we're like, no. Take that. Let's take the interesting route home. Let's get these to the red since their blues are getting pretty yoked. Our red population is a little low, but... And that's it. The nut. You know, this is a random question. I usually, like, glance around GameStop every now and then. But a lot of modern games haven't interested me to justify going to one. Are, like, weird third-party games still a thing? Kind of like Eminem's Racing tier kind of games? Oh, there's still another treasure. mean they stole another treasure? I think I'm stupid, chat. But yeah, that feels like a kind of lost art. Double A in general is pretty, has been pretty stagnated. Last Double A game I played was Helldivers 2, and I think that game is like an absolute blast. I got my money's worth out of it. You're in good company. Hey, I may be stupid, but that doesn't mean I'm dumb. I may be an idiot, but that doesn't mean I'm an idiot. Oh. Oh, more buried stuff. Okay. I think I already talked before about it, like how I know it's like specifically the 2000s, like the 90s and like the late 90s, early 2000s, where it felt like finding merch of video game stuff outside of just Pokemon was weirdly impossible. And now GameStop is just that haven for merch. Back then, there's like, still, I remember like, what, I can't really recall many solid third, like, or lesser experiences from bigger publishers, like, smaller experiences. Usually, like, indies have filled that niche. For, like, not triple A, but, not double A. Like, obviously, like, oh my god, my words are, like, not working. Oh. How did he survive that? But you know? Yeah, you guys can clearly read my mind. I don't need to say anything more about the topic. Yeah. I know one of the biggest reasons why I'm, like, kind of like... I guess it's, like, kind of hard on, like, finding, like, good, cheaper experiences, like... Even, like, obviously, I still think the average good game, like, average game costing $60, that's fine. That is a perfectly fine price point. It has been perfectly fine for the past decade. We got no reason to change that. But it's harder to find, like, I guess, like, cheaper in stores unless you go secondhand for, like, lesser experiences. A lot, since, like, $60 is the standard, so you usually pay for, like, just everything. Stop touching the grass, you're not allowed to. Oh, no, okay, no, I didn't realize that. I realized why it's like, how exactly you get to try, like, what's it called, for $60 per game. I forgot. I keep forgetting this. We had Blockbuster when I grew up, bro. Even well into, like, the Wii era, like, Blockbuster game rentals always had a powerful niche, even, like, well into the Wii's lifespan. It's like those $60 games, they were still, like, pricey, but it's like, you could, like, try them out at a Blockbuster and see if you like the game or not. Oh my god, I was like trying to think about, like, a whole bunch of, like, random smaller titles I had played when I was younger. I was like, but those were all $60. How did I play, like, all those titles? And I forgot. Blockbuster. Now, I'm gonna say, to be honest, there's nothing on Earth that's gonna get me to pay, like, $90 for a Switch 2 game. Like, it's already a hard sell getting me to spend, like, $70 for something. And both times I spent $70 on a video game, I was immensely disappointed. $90? You're just crazy. Dude, I'm gonna go... Dude, I'm lonely? Dude! The got the Bulborb. The bearded amp rat. The pyroclasmic slooch. The Scutterchuck. I'm glad that they kept up their very good naming scheme well into Pikmin 3 and Pikmin 4. Like Peckish Aristocrab, Puckering Bilno, Skeeter Skate, Waddlepus. Okay, that one's a bit too on the nose. But Scutterchuck, that is a great name. Yeah, you can go to Pikmin.com and play the Pikmin Space Force browser game. Alright, another area cleared out. One left to go. If I remember correctly, this is just the final trial from Pikmin 1, but in reverse and expanded a bit. And you land on a big yield sign. Alright, fellas. Oh, the impact site map? Oh, yeah, I could have sworn that it was like a little, there's like something a little bit extra. Alright. Swole is the goal. You spent 1 hour grinding for all these purples. And now we have 4 minutes to wait, so, Cavern of Chaos. That's the one with the giant lobster at the end. They set it up by, like, here's a parasite armored up. No, that's a jewel beetle. And a Gatling groin. Good luck. Let's just scout ahead, got the purples, like, doing their thing. Oh yeah, and here's the, impact site. Yeah, you can definitely see the final trial, like, right here, and then it's combined with the impact site. Ah, that's really neat. That's really, really neat recycling, man. It's kind of hard, like, because they dress it so much. They change the, terrain so much. What the fuck happened? What the hell? What the hell? Did the groin— No! I don't want to spend another fucking hour grinding for purples, okay? This is the only time I'm hard restarting, bro. The Groink was out for blood. Why did he go so far? What was his problem? What was his problem? No! I like— Okay, side note. I love how Pikmin just, like, gets you screaming, "No, not the Groink!" And, like, fear. Why did he wander so far? Why? Why on earth did he decide to then start moseying over towards the launch site? Why was his aggro range so far? Why did he do that to me? Look how far he had to walk to cause me suffering. That's the only time I'm gonna restart, because it is a monotonous hour just to get these 100. I'm so mad. I can't believe he did that. Why did he have to do that? Look how long he had to walk to find my purples and be like, hey, it's time for you all to die. Look at that, like, that... I am in awe. So I guess we can't even keep our eyes off because the groink is out for blood. Oh my god. You evil bastard. At first I thought it was the jeweled cannon beetle. I was like, okay, maybe it got lined up really badly. Maybe the jeweled cannon beetle just like wandered over and saw it, but no, it was the goddamn groink. It was the Gatling groink. He got groinked. Cool. I do love how he could just do that with his homing rocks. Monster, you beast. But back to what I was talking about, I really love the creative asset reuse in this game. It's thanks to, like, strongly changing, like, the overall theming by giving it, like, an autumn theming and meshing these two together. This was, like, a lake bed originally, which they dried out, which made it completely different terrain. They added the wall and combined the impact site. It's crazy smart. Like I said, big props to the team for how creatively they just reused all the overworld maps. Okay. We are good. $3,000 smackaroos. Doomsday apparatus. Ah, alright. Thank God that's over. Alright. Well, no more, moseying around. Let's just dive straight into the Cavern of Chaos. How long have I been going? Now we're 30. Let's lock in. Let's get this one done. Alright. First Wistful Wilds Cave. Let's see, see how well this all aged. Electricity into, these carnival assholes. First of all, they're being methodical. Getting rid of every bomb here. Oh. Game. Okay. We can find order with all the chaos. Okay, let's scoot. There we go. Blue! Okay, he just wanted to die. There's no beating around the bush there. Okay, well, we disarmed most of the threat. Okay. I think we maneuvered pretty well, but that is a very nasty floor one. I remember this cave as, like, one that I never revisited when I replayed this when I was younger. That first, like, when you, like, I think it's kind of funny how, like, when you're younger, you can identify when threats are, like, at their absolute worst. And so, like, when you play this game as a kid, you're just like, yeah, electricity, explosions, they suck. So if you put a lot of them around, it just starts to stress you out even more as a kid. Because you know there's, like, no saving them from, like, getting it's squash, electricity, and, explosion. Because, like, when that happens, it's just, like, GG for your Pikmin. There's no beating around that bush. Those things are dead. Speaking of PTSD... Two Bulblaxes. Very smart because it's punishing me for my lack of reds. I can't remember which Pikmin game, like, the Bulblax had, like... I think it was Pikmin 1 where the Bulblax just had, like, more health. Okay. Ah, we just lost a few. Okay. I yelled in the group. Why? Alright, smooth. Hey! I really hope that the Cavern of Chaos gives us a few break floors as well. I can't remember in particular if it does. So both of these Bull Blaxes have a... Essence of Despair. Yeah, I'm not gonna actually risk it. I do not wanna... We can outmaneuver this guy. Okay, sweet. There's another one? I can't remember if, like, purples can, like, stun the Bull Blacks. I guess we could give it a quick test. Okay, they deal some damage. Go back to sleep, please. I'm thinking just to conserve our reds. I'd gladly... Oh! Refund! Cool! Because I don't know if the game's gonna throw more Fury Bull Blacks at us again. Or some fire hazards that would need diffusing. I better play safe than sorry. Yeah, the Bitter Spray is kind of overpowered because it just trivializes every encounter. Gemstar Wife? Steven Universe. Oh yeah, I was talking about before was rental stores. Now, granted, like if like Nintendo and the rest of the industry doubles down on the $80 games, I think rental stores are gonna like come back in full force. Ah, man. Judge Holden is like the anti-Steven Universe, because Judge Holden is just an evil baby. Wendigoon is wrong in its interpretation. It's like very... I know they're talking about a symbol, like how sometimes symbolism can be subtle. It's very on the nose about how Judge Holden is just like an evil baby. Like, yeah, no, humans aren't born good, so like if I'm born and have the mentality of a baby, I can be the most evil person alive. So I'm a big evil baby. I forget if I hold a Pikmin, they all swarm behind me. Ow. I don't think he's anything supernatural in particular. Oh! Holy shit, you actually surprised me. Oh, I was trying to, swap Pikmin. I did not mean for that. Haven't finished the book just yet, but I've read enough, like, with how on the nose it kind of is with its, symbolism. About halfway through it. Because it always feels to me that it's, like, it's just kind of proof that, like, even if somebody's, like, really well-spoken and really intelligent, that just doesn't mean that they can't be evil. A lot of times they're just gonna be, they're just gonna be, like, products of their environment, almost. It's kind of like a subversion on the idea of, like, the Enlightenment era man, almost. Potato. Yeah, we're not carrying anything. I'm walking him home. We're not gonna get hit by falling rocks again. Like I said, it's the constant baby comparisons about him in the book that really makes me think he's definitely human. Like, when an author starts repeating that in their symbolism over and over again, it's like, yeah, he really wants you to know. He really wants you to, like, compare him to a baby and think really hard about babies and how they're evil. Infernal vegetable. Okay, perfect. Let's get on out of here. Yeah, nice try, game. Oh, it's this boy. Can we, like, hit him with bombs? He's so tiny. That's just like Pikmin 1. He can't eat the bombs! I don't want to risk any blue. Actually, let's probably lure him out. We just don't want him in the water, because I'm not sure how heavy his treasure's gonna be. He can jump! I forgot! Lobster. Take it home. Oh, you don't have a treasure. I can ignore that guy. That's his husband. The gay bull blaxes. Get some used ketchup. All in all, I think we're doing pretty good stuff, guys. It's like... It's funny watching him burrow. But this is funny just to watch animals do funny things. So why not, Zarg? Why not? Also, he's part of the Bull Blacks family, so that's why he's round thing with legs. He's part of that family. Round things are funny. You gotta accept that truth of the universe. But yeah, I hope I don't think game rental stores can really come back because it's so much harder for brick and mortar stores to operate. Okay, so we got these stuff. Got 13 reds. Okay, we could probably use a few more. Or just to get a few whites back. Some extra purples never hurt. I keep getting distracted by my Blockbuster talk. All I know is that, like, I hope that, like, I hope the industry moves towards, like, saying, like, either they don't move to the standardization of, $80 games, or go, you know what? Or they do, and the game industry crashes for it. Like, a lot of game devs, like, or at least publishers, like Nintendo specifically, needs a big kick in the rear. Just, like, pit to, like, bug off. Block gets busted. And granted, we're at a point, economy-wise, where it's like, where people, like, where it's an easy decision to not buy the $450 console with $60 annual costs, $80 controllers, and $80 games, you know? They're gonna defend them, but then it's like, then they'll, like, check their pocketbooks and realize, wait a second, I can't actually afford this. It's kind of hit, like, a breaking point with them. Where it's like, now it's the easiest thing in the world to protest because of how ridiculous the costs are. Dude, those costs will add up fast. I mean, yeah, then they gotta convince their parents to get that, that ludicrously expensive, game console. Hello? But yeah, the other thing is that, like, what differentiates this from a lot of other Nintendo consoles has to be the price point. This is a price point in a time where the economy could not be worse to start, like, jacking up prices on your own games, man. It's like, push comes to shove, I'm sure, like, people won't be able to buy even if they wanted to. Like, the Wii U's failure was just because nobody knew what the hell a Wii U was, and it didn't have any good games on it. Except for Tropical Freeze, and Tropical Freeze did not utilize the namesake part of the, like, the Wii U. This one is just like, we're pricing people out of it. There's nothing here. So we can ignore this half at least. A lot of grinding and some talks about how I want Nintendo to die. I want Nintendo to, like, just cause the industry to crash so, like, people realize, oh, wait a second. We've reached our final form of, like, being too profit-driven, and now it's Jover. Oh my god, that is devious! You devious toad. Like, I'm glad I threw blues, because they're like, you know what? Why should we take the normal path home? Into the water we go. I had a feeling that these guys would do it, would path that way. But yeah, it's like, maybe if, like, you know, if, like, we were, like, if the job market was, like, doing much better, and we weren't starting to, like, see people being squeezed for everything they're worth, people would be more receptive to $80 games. But this is not the market to have $80 games, you know? All election, people are complaining about groceries and egg prices. Nintendo's like, yeah. Crank up those Nintendo prices. They'll forfeit their food for it. It's insanity, man. Absolute insanity. But so long as I have my Wii and the Homebrew channel, I can live without a Switch too. I would highly recommend, if you haven't, just go get yourself a Wii Mini off of, like, go get yourself a Wii Mini or a used Wii, load the Homebrew channel up on that stuff, and then you have access to a lot of Nintendo's greatest hits. Upside, SD cards are cheaper, never been cheaper. For, like, a 1TB SD card, bro? That's, like, only 50 bucks now. There's some pros to, this modern day, and a lot of it involves computing technologies. Everything is so cheap now. Or a lot cheaper than it was before. Minus GPUs, but you can, thank Crypto Bros for that, mostly. And NVIDIA for being completely incompetent as well. You guys want to know what happened with NVIDIA's latest generation of cars? They decided, you know what? let's just not have any heat distribution and like just shunt all the heat from our graphics card and our GPUs onto the power cables. People have like reports with their 5090s of the power cables like melting because of how poor like heat distribution is on those cards. So you can just get yourself a much older generation card. I'm glad that these things take so long to like eat things. So far, this cave's pretty relaxing. Okay, wait. I gotta ask. This SNES Classic emulates, right? I mean, I guess it has to. I talked about this earlier before on stream, but it's like, if I have the option to run something on like close to native hardware, I will take that. Which is why I think the Wii is such a fantastic console, because it's got, like, the Wii and even the PS2 as well, because it's, like, Oh, that reminds me, I gotta get, like, a flash card for my PS2 as well. Oh, that was just... It looks like the chocolate chip cookie. Anyways, you can't lose stuff to that bug if you just ignore it, I guess. Yeah, I've got a PS2, so I'm definitely gonna get some stuff loaded up on that. I've got a physical PS3 for the only PS3 exclusive I want to play, which is Demon's Souls. I would not know. I would have to do some Googling. I've got, like, almost every... I think I've got a genuine Nintendo 64. I think Nintendo 64 is the only sour spot when it comes to, like, emulation. Like, you can emulate NES, SNES, like, NES, SNES, Genesis. You can emulate those one pretty well. Nintendo 64 is kind of a sour spot, because if I remember correctly, though, like, most of the Nintendo 64 emulators are just, very, like, specific for, certain games. Like, Project 64 was, Project 64 is primarily optimized for Mario 64 and nothing else. You have so much trouble emulating Nintendo 64 games, it's kind of crazy. I wonder if it's... I wish that... What do we got? Xbox 360 as well. Oh, that reminds me! No, never mind! Somebody got, like, the decomp... Like, the recomp... like, I think the decomp Xbox 360 tool. That's gonna be so huge, man. I really hope people start to, like, use that more often. Because, like, the only consoles I think that are, like, a little bit lacking in emulation have to be, like, the PS3 and the Xbox 360. And then, like, they just dropped, like, the Sonic Unleashed recomp and then that recompiling tool for games, and I would... Dude, I would cry if we got a recomp of Ace Combat 5 PC. I think you can also get a few Armored Cores off of there as well. There's so much stuff you can salvage from that just makes emulation so troubling. Because I would take a recomp any day, because that's like original hardware tier like value. Oh, the boardroom. Okay, we'll let the Groink approach us. Dude, I'm hearing, like, phantom footsteps from the Groinks. No, those were not phantom footsteps. That was a true blue groink. Double groink. Poke it, poke it. Okay, okay. Oh, man. Dude. So my brain just, like, locked into autopilot there a bit, not gonna lie. But the major threats are down. Like, I was, like, so funny. I was thinking, like, am I just hearing more growing footsteps, or is that just PTSD? Then the second shuffles up, and I was like, oh, boy. Oh, balls. I gotta say, the sound design does go a long way in this game. By just, like, instilling fear with, like, burp, 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 burp. It's stupid-ass groink noise. I think it's always good to own physicals. Like, I have a Nintendo 64 and GameCube still, in that we will do everything. But I think, like, the N64, like I said, the fact that it's, like... That's right, retro games market. You know, maybe there'll be a retro game market crash soon, and I could, like, get an actual physical N64 collection. Though, to be honest, it's, like, really hard, because some of the best games on N64 kind of did get, like, a port. Like, Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask are two of, like, the big go-tos. Ocarina of Time got, like, a GameCube remaster, it got a 3D remaster, which is great, and it also got a recomp. And Majora's Mask got a decomp as well, and a recomp. So, some of the best, like, right now, what would, hold on, I can think, like, Paper Mario, Kirby Crystal Shards are, like, two that I remember off the N64. Hold on. My memory's pretty bad with, like, these long lists. F-Zero X is one I've really wanted to try, too. The Banjo-Kazooie ones, Space Station Silicon Valley. I've heard a lot about that game, but never got the chance to try it. I'm gonna be honest, Mario Kart 64 is, like, not very good. I think every Mario Kart just, like, iterates so well in the previous ones that it's hard to go back. Yeah, I know that the N64 had, like, a rough time with its releases, but got some stellar, groundbreaking releases on it, despite the fact it was using cartridges and kind of, like, fell off compared to the PS1 at the time. But a lot of the best games already have, like, good ports or recomps. I think Perfect Dark is one that hasn't got one. The Banjo-Kazooie games haven't exactly gotten one. Yeah, I'm just glad, like I said, I'd say, like, if you're gonna get something from the retro games market, get yourself a, just get yourself a PlayStation get yourself a PlayStation 2, get the flash card on that, get yourself a Wii, homebrew that, and, I think, like, I'm not sure about, I don't think you can jailbreak an Xbox 360, can you? Or why are we taking this slow? We just bum rush it. I'm just glad that, like, older game devs were just kind enough to allow that, like, such good backwards compatibility that, like, even nowadays when the retro game market, like, has been abused to balls, it's all like, you know what? No, we can still make it work on our old consoles. Oh, you got the PS1 fat, nice. Or PS3 fat. You see, this is the upside about the Wii U being utter garbage. The Wii U is so garbage, there's no games to really go back for it for. I think the only game that there were so little games in the Wii U that were worth it. That it's like, you know what? Yeah, we could just completely forget about it. I think Nintendo Land was a really fun game, but not like a system seller. Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze is one of my favorite platformers of all time, unironically. And it got a Switch port, so we don't gotta worry about those, the Wii U for it. I'm glad that they immediately ported that game to Switch. Because it does not deserve to be stuck on the Wii U. I use the Wii to browse 4chan and watch hentai. It's so trash. That is the most, like, 14-year-old, like, line of thinking for a console in existence. I love it. That's what I used to do when we unlocked, like, the browser on the DS. So, like, what happened, like, on the DSi, when I had the browser function, my dad had parental controls on our computer, but I wanted to watch YouTube, but he blocked YouTube. Mind you, I'm not faulting him for blocking YouTube. I think it was very smart to have parental controls on. To try and bypass it, I just, like, go on the DSi browser and try to watch parental controls via that. Yeah, that's right, that's right. You can jailbreak your Switch as well. Sweet. Okay. I do not mind at all. I'm, like, granted, that like happened really early on in the Switch's lifespan. My brain was too stunned by that first one. Like, I was shell-shocked by that first bomb. And then the second plane hit the tower, and I was like, oh dear. I saw the first bomb. I saw how many got obliterated by that. Oh my god. Okay, it's not over. We at least have pretty decent Pikmin stockpiles back at home. It's not the biggest thing in the world. Ugh. Oh my god, I forgot. I forgot how, like, the Joy-Cons are arguably one of the worst design controls of all time. Not from just, like, how they feel, but also from, like, how easy they break. That's why I'm glad that they added native GameCube controller support to the Switch, so you can just plug in the GameCube adapter. I'm surprised that they just like, yeah, if you got the old Wii U GameCube controller adapter. You know what? I believe. I believe in the heart of the cards. Ooh. I think that's a really creative boss, too. Like, it just forces you to put yourself in that stressful situation if you want to hurt him. We got him. Woo! And check out this sick treasure you get that does nothing for you. I really like this fight. It used to stress me out as a kid, but when you're an adult, you kind of have control over this fight. It is surprisingly fun, because it's like you just have to navigate. Because like it puts you in like high risk, high reward scenarios. You have a good work rate, Cryptid. I remember I struggled so hard getting to this boss. Like, oh, I must get some, like, this cave is so hard. If I beat this really hard boss, it must give me something awesome. Silencer. How are white Pikmin, like, consistently the biggest survivors? Like, I bring the least amount of them, and the most end up coming out alive. But look at all that money! But no, we're gonna hold that. The only thing I will not hold is losing every Pikmin, because the Gatling Groink decided to go, you know what? Sorry that you decided to, like, wait 4 minutes to explore. I'm going to ruin your life. Oh. Our white Pikmin numbers are not doing too hot. Purple Pikmin numbers are still pretty fine. Let's bring a big collection of everyone. Yeah, I'm glad that white, you don't need 100 whites for anything. You just need like 10 tops. Damn it. Yeah, so let's just spend this time, get some of our boys back. We can also start opening up some fences as well. Just taking some paths forward. What's your problem? I think the fish slipped. Ew. So these guys work here. We'll get that Groink also. That nefarious Groink. I think what makes this game so memorable for me is that it draws out, like, a wide array of emotions. Yeah, the Groink is patrolling over there, which we need blues to get over to as well. So yeah, we aren't assaulting that until we have a lot of blues. It like, as long as a game isn't consistently getting annoyance or boredom from a player, it's doing pretty good. This game keeps me very, very thoroughly engaged. Now, we can't do much with the Groink and having, like, our blues work in 2 different places. Let's take this down. Nice. We can get ourselves some more sauce. Nice. Okay, now we just get our yellows to work here. Get these to work right here. God, I keep hearing, like, phantom Gatling groinks. It's like my ears, like, trying to prime to hear him before he arrives and ruins my day. No, it's because he is there. Okay, it's not a phantom one. My senses are too keen to be jump scared by the groin. We're in a bit of a low period. Do you know what else that's nice? It exists, like... You know, I think it'd be easier. Do switch flash carts exist? I would hope so. When it comes to games' accessibility and preservation, like, jailbreaking and flash carts are very important. Like, you get that into you figure that out with a console before the end of its lifespan. More important than emulators, too, in my opinion. Because it can be so easy to accidentally tweak something wrong with an emulator and just butcher the performance. Dude, these worms are fast. Okay, let's grab everything we need there. And there's the old landing site. Wait, there's the impact site. What's this one? Protect Mr. President. It's the Hole of Heroes. Okay. That's the only way to get up here. Oh god, this is not good. It's not good. Okay, so the only way around here is for the Gatling Groink, and there's through there. Then there's a cave there. I think that's the Dream Den. We're actually not going to get super far with 10 whites against those fences, not going to lie. Ooh. Yeah, everybody's at the landing zone. Still. Oh, we're getting grunked. Most HP in the game, and yo, Aiden. It's been a long while. Those gates have the most HP in the game. That's my reaction to that. 4.9 grand. Oh my god. So we need to look at it. Okay, so there's the Hole of Heroes, then the Dream Den. Sweet Tooth series. Cook's Arsenal series. Husband's Tears series. Oh no! The Pikmin. I don't know how long it's been, Aiden. Either way, always a pleasure to see you around here. Hold on, I just want to see what the heck the silencer is, according to Olimar. Let's see if we can find it. Still, oh my god. Depends on the love you give your wife each day. A stone with a soul twinkle that grants harmony, stability, and tranquility to the beholder. But the diamond. Scintillating jewel will make girlfriends feel like queens of the galaxy and boyfriends feel like kings of debt. Fit for the ruler of the universe, it is the ultimate giant diamond. Like a forlorn heart during the rainy season, the sapphire is lovely but tinged with sadness. The stone is for all fathers who want their daughters to grow up to be elegant rather than flashy. There's nothing cheap about the sparkle of the stone. Oh my god, I just love just the husband's tears. Unspeakable wonder. Okay, there's the silencer. The ship is noisy, but nothing compared to the boss's inane chatter. Blah, 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 it never ends. He can learn a lot from the noiseless, disembodied head. Louis' quiet nature was hard to adjust to, but now I've grown to appreciate the peace and quiet. It's called a silencer because it's just a quiet head. Oh, rubber ugly. I laid eyes on this hideous treasure. I thought it was a giant aquatic monster. It took me several terror-filled seconds to realize that's just an ugly statue. What about paradoxical enigma? I'm not just an intergalactic space captain, I'm also an artist. I see the inner beauty in everything. Some things other people call ugly and boring I find stimulating and aesthetically pleasing. It's true. I'm sophisticated like that. The joke isn't just duckhead. What about Doomsday Apparatus? I was studying this item earlier today. I was astounded at its unbelievable bulk. It was so heavy, I would have never been able to move it without my burly purple Pikmin. This is some kind of heavy artillery. Oh, dude! Dr. Pepper! How did I miss this? Dude, he saw the Dr. Pepper emblem and got, like, MK Ultra'd into drinking all of his water. Yep. Child of the Earth. I didn't even notice these. Tiny alien, spiny alien treat. Alright. I'd say, since we are, like, on the cusp of wrapping everything up, just got the Hole of Heroes and the, Dream Den. The Hole of Heroes is one of the longest caves in the game. I think it has, like, 15, 20 floors? All I know is the Hole of Heroes is the longest cave in the game, and the Dream Den is the hardest in the game. So, I'm saying, this Friday, we're gonna get this all wrapped up. We're gonna get the last above ground treasures, clear the Groink, get the Hole of Heroes all wrapped up, and then finish up the Dream Den. We are, like, almost there. Still, man, this game, I am low-key, I guess high-key, very happy this game still holds up so well. Like, it's always a bummer when you go back to a game and it's like, oh no, this game wasn't as funny or witty as I remember it being. No, it is. It absolutely is. So I'm just, like, reading. Look at this bastard. So creepy. ROM hacks. I'm not sure where to go next. I've got, like, I'm thinking just, like, something like Mario Sunshine next. It's really nice just to enjoy these and talk about, like, GameCube games are pretty chill to talk about. There's also great stream games. It just gives you lots of time to, like, chat while doing some busy work. Anyways, yeah, on the list, I've got, what's it called? Custom Robo is a new one. I want to try Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, Mario Sunshine, Luigi's Mansion. Those are, like, all the GameCube games that I, like, played a bunch as a kid that I have not played in, like, decades that I would love to return to. Then a few new ones, like Wario World, F-Zero GX, I really want to try and play through to completion. A Giant Bread Bug, he's their biggest fan stream. Anyways, a bit shorter than usual. But, we're, like I said, we're on the, final stretch of things. So, we're gonna wrap it up here. Wednesday is gonna be either a Guilty Gear or a, P.A. Dwayne. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna have Guilty Gear or a bit of Custom Robo. Wednesday's gonna be a little bit more chill of a day. And Friday, we will finish up Pikmin 2. So anyways, thanks again for everybody for tuning in. I am going to use the bathroom now. And I hope you all have a good bathroom break as well. May shit gnomes be free from your life. See y'all later.